if you bought a new Toyota, what is the new Tacoma's like compared, let's say, an old Tacoma? I was a 21-year-old first gen Tacoma owner. And the pluses that I see right off the bat of having this vehicle is the horsepower, the ride quality, the comfort. It's a lot quieter inside, and just the look. It looks so much better. When you drive them, they feel much more substantial. The hood is taller. You can't see over it as easy as you can in the first generation. It doesn't have a front camera. I wish that it did. Before I bought this vehicle, I test drove the Ridgeline and I test drove the couple of the Subaru products because I was kind of looking at the Subarus. But having had a Tacoma for 21 years, I'm really glad I got another Tacoma because I know the reliability's there. I know the truck's going to last as long as you take care of it, change the oil, keep up on maintenance. I know how these trucks behave and how they are. They're basically a tool. As long as you, like I said, keep up on the maintenance, they won't let you down. So, but it was very confusing going from the first generation, which had a cassette player and a CD player in it, to this, which is, you know, entirely Bluetooth, and this is the sport model. And I don't go four-wheeling, I don't go off-road a lot. The sport model is supposed to be more geared toward if you're going to be on the highway, and you know, you can go off-road, but it doesn't have the crawl control or any of that. The suspension's tuned a little bit softer, and it's a better fit for what I use my truck for. Now granted, everybody's going to have to fit the truck to what they intend to use the truck for, but for me, the sport model, plus it had the hood scoop, which I like. It makes the truck really look sharp. I went with the sport model, and I'm not disappointed at all. But there is a learning curve, and the manual is, God, like that thick, and then there's a whole another separate manual for like the nav and Bluetooth and all that. And it's taking me a while to figure all the stuff out, and in my coming videos, I'm going to do some more videos. I just wanted to make this real quick to let you know there's more videos coming, and I'll go step by step. But you know, how to get things set up, because right off the bat, you know, stuff's a little confusing. You can't figure out how to work stuff. I got in this truck, and there was a point in the navigation that was somebody else's that I tried to erase, and instead of ending up erasing it, I ended up copying it like 4 more times. And it took me a while, just stupid stuff like that, to figure out how to delete, you know, that information. And I'll get into all that. There's a lot of upgrades that this truck is going to get. They're pretty good in stock form, but everybody likes to do their little personal touches to them. I can tell you right now, the transmission, although it's not an issue, if I had not read about it beforehand, I would have thought something was wrong with my truck. Now, supposedly these are adaptive transmissions. They learn how you drive and they adjust accordingly over time. What time frame? I have no idea. If is it 1,000 miles? It doesn't really tell you. Is it 5,000 miles? I don't know. But it does spend a lot of time looking for gears, and it seems to me, you know, maybe it hasn't figured me out yet, but it'll go strong first and second, and then when it shifts into third, it completely falls on its face and you feel like you got a 4-cylinder. And the only way to remedy that is to give it more gas as it shifts into third. That's not ideal. I don't want to train my brain to have to put more gas in every time I shift to third. I want the truck to be better. Now, they do make things for it. There's a pedal commander that is like $300 that you can get, and that's supposed to help tailor the throttle response to, you know, your use. There's like 36 different settings, but that is one of the things that I know that there's nothing wrong with the truck and nothing wrong with the transmission, and maybe they do it to try and eke out a couple miles per gallon more. This does get better gas mileage than my last Tacoma. My last Tacoma was a 2002, 16, 17 maybe. Right now, according to the computer, I haven't done the calculations myself, but it says I'm getting around 19 and 20, and I'm only doing city driving. I haven't done any highway yet. So it is an improvement. 278 horsepower, it's plenty of power. I was on wet roads today, gave it a little too much gas at 40 and lit up the rear tires at 40 miles an hour, and I was like, my old truck would have never have done that, so that's cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm going to do to this, so you know, to make it more functional for me. It came with LED headlights. That was nice. I like the LED headlights. I drive a lot in the early mornings, and having a brighter pattern and a more whiter light works for me. There are some changes I'm going to be doing to that too, though. But I got the 6-foot bed. My last truck was the 5-foot bed, and when I did kayaking or dirt bikes, you had to leave the tailgate down for dirt bikes. The kayak stuck out way out the back, so I wanted a 6-foot. I went with the access cab. I'm not really putting, I can't even remember the last time I put somebody inside my double cab in my last truck, so there wasn't really a need for me. And if you stay with the access cab and the 6-foot bed, it's the same footprint as the double cab with the 5-foot bed. And I didn't want this truck to be any longer, because having driven to Tacoma for so many years, I like the fact that these are great in parking lots. There's no K-turning to get into spots. You know, it's easy. The turning radius is very good. These wheels turn very sharp. I was surprised. I thought this obviously is wider, taller, and longer than the first gen. And I was prepared to be a little disappointed in the turning radius, and I wasn't. It still turns very well, very well. Besides the fact that it's a little bit wider, which is good, because when you're inside and you have a passenger, you don't feel like you're right up next to each other. There is a little more space. It's not as wide as the Ridgeline. The Ridgeline was a very wide truck. Some people say it's not even a truck. It's more like a Honda Passport with a bed on it. But anyway, you know. And yeah, and it's just, it really stood out to me, the comfort of it. The one thing I did notice that I do not like, and supposedly this is a lot of the trucks, is it has the remote start, which is great. Winter time, why have to run outside and start your truck? The only problem is, and I've talked to other owners of different makes, and apparently this is an industry thing, maybe for safety, maybe for theft. You start the truck, let it warm up. As soon as you come out and open the door, the engine shuts off. What is the point of that? That's just nonsense. So I have to get back in my truck and restart it again. I'm trying to minimize starting my truck. That's when the most wear takes in the engine. I don't want to have to come out here, open the door, get in, and start again. So that's just a little pet peeve of mine. Like I said, apparently it's not just Toyota. It's several trucks. So there's going to be more videos coming. Stay tuned. This is like the most popular color of the Tacoma. I see this color all over the place. And of all the mods I'm going to do and how I'm going to customize it to myself, what works, what doesn't, what's gimmicky, what's good. So there's going to be more coming, but this is the new one.